So, as you come to lie down on your back, bring one block to about the middle of your back, and the other block is going to be an optional head rest. I say middle, upper middle part of your back. You might need to fidget around a little bit to make sure that it feels comfortable. And then the other block is an option to put underneath your head. So it's a supine resting position. You could do whatever you want with your legs. Right now I have a Baddha Konasana. It could be knocking your knees in, letting your feet go wide, or just letting your legs stretch out long to a neutral position. And so some people never use the block underneath the head, and they like to have their head open, throw open, and a little bit of a deeper opening here. It's really your choice, whatever feels best for you and your body. Again, if you haven't met me yet, my name is Bri, and we're working through an all levels vinyasa today. Let your arms be wide to a cactus or to a T. And just take a few breaths to ground down into this space. If you're having a hard time getting comfortable on that block beneath you, take a few fidgets to really get the block flat on your shoulder blades. And as you begin to arrive on your mat today, notice how you're showing up in your body. Notice the attention in your mind and where that's at. And breathe more breath into that block beneath you. Take about 3 more breaths here, just grounding down, feeling the heart start to open up. Start to constrict through the breath, activate through your Ujjayi pranayama. Breathe in and out through the nose, creating that oceanic sound. Now if your legs are open, bring your hands to the outsides of the thighs, close your legs like a book. If you're on a block, roll off of those blocks, move the blocks, both of them out of the way, and ground your back on the earth. Now grab your block, your knees are bent. Stretch your block towards the ceiling. Push your low back down into the ground and stretch your block up. Feel your shoulder bones pull away from the earth. So this is an unplugged shoulder. Now keep the back pressing down into the ground. Pull your shoulders back into the socket. Inhale. Exhale, slow and controlled. Start to bring that block overhead. And again, if you don't have a block, you can do this without the block. The block just adds a little extra weight. And so if you're using a foam block, it's going to be a little bit less weight, but you're still having something. If you're not using a block at all, keep your shoulder bones plugged in and move your arms in this fashion without letting your back lift off of the ground. So you do not want that back lifting off the ground at all. So keep moving the block about all the way up until it's in line with your eyesight, and then all the way up so your arms are in line with the ears. All right, now bring that block in between your upper inner thighs. Squeeze the block real strong. And when I say upper inner thighs, towards your pelvis. Bring your arms by your sides. Moving through spinal movements here. Drive into your heels. Lift your hips. Reach your arms way in line with your ears. Exhale, squeeze your block and lower your hips down. So undulating the spine. Inhale, lift up, reach your arms high. Exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale, rewind, extension, pull the back of the body, so finding extension, and exhale, lower, pressing each and every vertebra down to the ground. A little bit more flexion through the spine. 2 more, lift up, extend, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your back. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, release, lower. Let your hands stay by your sides this time. Drive into your heels, lift your hips. An option to either interlace your hands behind your back like I'm doing, or you can grab for the outside edges of your yoga mat. That might feel a little bit more accessible for you. Breathe. Untuck your chin from the chest. From the pelvis, expand out long through the thighs. Keep squeezing your block if you have that. And release your hips all the way back down. Move your block out of the way. Pull your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice, loving little squeeze. Bring your hands behind your thighs. Take a few rocks if you'd like, and you're going to rock your way up to a boat pose. So boat pose can look like a couple different things. Maybe the toes are on the earth, maybe the legs are floating. Lift long through your spine. Float your hands by your sides. Stay nice and long through the sides of the neck. Squeeze your legs towards the midline. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower your low back down to the ground to find a low boat. Inhale, use that core, maybe your knees. Pull the knees in towards the chest. High boat. Exhale, lower it down. Low boat. Inhale, bring it up. High boat. So 3 more like that. Igniting core engagement. Exhale, low boat. Inhale, high boat. Exhale, low boat. Inhale, high boat. This is the last one here. Take it down to the low boat. Bring it up to the high boat. Ground your heels. Inhale, reach your right arm high. Exhale, bring the right hand to grab for the outside edge of your left foot. Press your foot firmly into your hand. Pull your arm back nice and strong. Breathe into the back body, into your back lung. And release. Second side. Inhale, reach your opposite arm up. Exhale, rounds. Find that big push and pull. And breathe. And release. Bring your legs off to the side. Find a tabletop position on your mat. And move through any spinal movements that feel good. So cow, cat, barrel rolls of the hips. Take about 1 minute to do that and move through your own spinal movements. I know I just left the screen. I'm grabbing a hair tie because otherwise my hair is going to be like a jungle. This practice is really about opening ourselves up. Opening ourselves up to opportunities, to possibilities, and to really like the gifts that life has to offer us. That's what we're working on today. Take about another breath or two, just evening out whatever you were doing in your body. Do the other side. And land back to your neutral tabletop. Toes can be tucked or untucked. Lift your knees to about a little hover on the mat. Grip the ground nice and strong. Pull all of your organs up and in, lengthen through the sides of the neck. Tuck your toes, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. From your down dog, we will be making big spinal waves. Inhale, spike your heels high like a wave, round all the way forward to a plank. Now, lift the skull, bend your knees, send your hips up and back, and land in dog pose. 2 more, inhale, big wave all the way forward to your plank. Press the earth away. Bend your knees, send your hips up and back, dog pose. Last one like that. Inhale, wave it all the way forward. And take it all the way back. From down dog, come forward to a plank. Palakasana. Press the earth away. Stay real strong in the arms. Shift your shoulders past your wrists. Lower all the way down to the ground. Bring your big toes to touch. Roll your inner thighs in. Bring the arms to a cactus. Squeeze your inner thighs nice and strong. Inhale, lift your cactus arms up. Lift your feet up. Squeeze your inner thighs a little more. Think about sending the elbow tips down and the hands higher up. One more breath. Anchored back extension. Exhale, lower the feet and the hands. The knees are down the whole time. 2 more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, lower. Look at your left elbow. Your left elbow, your left arm is in like a 90-degree shape. Pivot to the outside edge of your left hip. Pull your right shoulder into the socket. Maybe you plant your right foot behind you on the earth. So you're opening up through the chest, through the front of the body. Breathe into the front body. And I invite you to just ask yourself, what does it feel like to live with an open mind and an open heart? Come back through center, second side. Right elbow lines up with right shoulder. Pivot to the outside edge of the right hip. The head can be lifted or lowered. Pull that left shoulder back into the socket. And breathe. Come all the way back through center. Bring your hands by your chest. Inhale, rise up, cobra pose. Pull your shoulders up and back. Tug your hands back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, cobra. Exhale, fold it all the way down. Last time, stay strong with your legs. Inhale, rise through cobra. Pull the heart through. Bhujangasana. Exhale, fold. Press your way up through tabletop or plank. Send your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. From your down dog, we're taking it to a frog dog. Make your feet as wide as mat's distance apart. Grab for the outside edges of your yoga mat. So see how my mat is flopping around? That's because I am holding the outside edges. Bend your knees a little bit. Send your hips even higher to the sky. Strong core. Lift your shoulders up and away from the earth. Wrap your triceps down. From the back of the heart, stretch out long through your arms. Melt your heart. Press your shoulder blades onto the back of the ribs. Begin to ground your hands. Walk your hands all the way back. Bring your block with you if you have one. Keep going. Walk your hands all the way back until your hips are hinging way behind your heels. Your block is forward and your hands are underneath your block, mainly because it gives you more length in your spine. So this is not a forward fold, it's a functional movement for your spine. Little bend of the knees. Make sure the outside edge of your feet are lined up with the long edge of the mat. Squeeze your shins in towards each other. Widen and broaden through your upper inner thighs. Breathe more breath into the back of the body on your inhale. Exhale, softly pull navel to spine, contract. Think about the tailbone going back and up and the crown of the head going down and forward. Inhale, halfway lift, glide your hands up your shins. Grab your hips, press down into the earth as you rise up. Tadasana, mountain pose. From mountain pose, bring your feet, maybe toes are slightly pointed out. Feet are still about hip distance apart. Let your hands rest on your thighs. Pull your shoulders up and back, lean back, inhale. Exhale, pour your heart down and fold. Inhale, lift all the way up, undulating your spine just like we did in down dog. And exhale, soft bend in the knees, round all the way to fold. 2 more, inhale brings you up. And exhale, fold. Just working on opening up ourselves in our quite physical form and allowing that to transfer into our emotional and our energetic body. Next time you land it standing, pause. Make your feet about hip distance. Inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, grab your right wrist, side bend up and over towards your left. Tug on your wrist. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, switch your clasp, go up and over the other way. Strong legs. Press down and out through your left leg. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, cactus your arms and open up through your heart. Inhale, pull navel to spine. Lift the back of your rib cage away from your hips. Exhale, cactus your arms, open up. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, last time, cactus. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, come to a chair pose. Let your hips come low. In chair, your hips are going back into space and the heart lifts up. If you're losing core engagement, think about the breastbone coming down ever so slightly and the shoulders lift up and back. Bring your arms behind you now. Interlace your hands, lift up through the heart space. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward, bound forward, fold. Let your arms drop over the back body. Shake your head out, yes or no. And breathe. Release your hands down. Start to crawl your hands all the way out. Land back in a plank pose. Press the earth away. One at a time, ground your forearms. And now bring your pointer finger and your thumb to touch. So you have like a little diamond shape between your hands. Pivot to the outside edge of your right foot. Lift your left elbow. Come to the outside edge of your right arm and pinky finger. So you have this cactus-ish shape. You can always modify and just cactus. Lift that right hip up. That's your power. Come back through center. Take your heels over towards the left. Reach your right arm up. Lift that bottom hip up. Again, finding power and strength here. Come back through your forearm plank. Pause here. Tug your elbows back into space. Sometimes I see in public classes, hips are up here like this. It's fine, but try to bring your hips roughly in line with your shoulders. And lower the hips down, Sphinx pose. Engage to the belly, pull your shoulders back. Pull your right heel towards your bum. Reach your right arm up and around to grab for your right foot. Thigh stretch. Breathe. Release your foot. Second side, pull the knees back in. Reach your opposite hand around to grab for your foot. Thigh stretch. And breathe into the thigh. Spin your inner body towards the front of the room. How can you work today in this moment and later on this week to open up to the abundance that surrounds you, to the life, to the living life that's all around you? The more that we open ourselves energetically, we can see all the things to be grateful for around us. Slowly release. Soften your chest down. Come to attentive fingertips. Think about your thumbs being on your mat and your fingertips are off the mat. This is the setup for gecko. So you want wider than cobra. Push your pelvic bone down. Inhale, rise up. Lift through the chest. Shoulders lift up. Pull your shoulder blades down the back body. Stay strong through your legs. Inhale. Exhale, dip your right shoulder down. Take a little peek over the left. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, dip your left shoulder down. Look over the right. Inhale, come through center. One more. Exhale, dip the right shoulder down. Inhale through center. Exhale, dip your left shoulder down. Inhale through center. Exhale, pour your heart down, fold. Glide your fingertips back by your hips. Pull the belly up and in. Inhale, rise up. Shalabhasana. Lifting through the arms and the legs. Hug your pinkies towards each other nice and strong. Maybe you even flare through the toes. And exhale, lower your right ear to the mat. Breathe in. And breathe out. There's the real star of the show, heading to his food bowl. Interlace your hands behind your back again one more time. Rise up. Shalabhasana. So a slightly different variation here. Hug the midline with your legs. Take an inhale to gain height. Exhale, fold left ear to the mat. Breathe in. Breathe out.
Bring your hands by your chest, tuck your toes, come up through plank or tabletop, send your hips up and back, down dog. All right, so we're about to be moving to the bulk of the flow here. Inhale, reach your right leg high. Exhale, bend your right knee, open your hips, stay relatively neutral through your shoulders. Inhale, straighten your leg and square the hip. Exhale, pull your knee towards your nose, round. Plant your foot in between your hands, come on to fingertips. Bring your back knee to a hover. Now there's a couple different ways you can do this. Hands can be framing your front foot, or you can bring your right arm to the inside edge of your front leg. Do what works best for your body. Inhale, pull your heart through, cow lunge. Exhale, straighten and fold. Press your right big toe mound down into the mat, cat lunge. Inhale, cow. Exhale, straighten and fold, cat. One more, inhale, cow lunge. Exhale, straighten and fold, cat lunge. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend into your front knee. Walk your left hand off of the mat, so towards the left. Pull your left shoulder back, reach your right arm high. Now wrap your bottom torso underneath you. Press your shoulder blade, your left shoulder blade, onto the back of the body. Lean back. It's a back banana twist. Breath in. Exhale, bring your hand down and step back, plank pose. Shift your shoulders past your wrists, half push up. Lower your knees, your chest, and your chin. Your butt is still lifted here. Inhale, come through cobra pose. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back, down dog. You'll get a couple more chances to play with that knees, chest, chin. Inhale, reach your left leg high. Exhale, bend your left knee, open your left hip, open, stack those hips. Inhale, straighten your leg, square your hip. Exhale, pull knee towards nose, round. Plant your foot in between your hands. And again, adjust your stance as needed. Inhale, bring the back knee to a hover, pull your heart through. Cow lunge. Exhale, straighten and fold. Press your left big toe mound down into the mat. Cat lunge. Inhale, bend into your front knee, cow. Exhale, straighten and fold, cat. One more, inhale, cow spine. Exhale, straighten and fold, cat spine. Lucy, go. Sorry, guys. Bend into your front knee. Walk your right hand over towards the right. Reach your left arm high to the sky. Work to twist open. Wrap your bottom torso underneath you. So the twist is coming from your back, not your shoulders. Keep your shoulders out of it. And ground your hands. Step back, plank pose. Inhale. Shift your shoulders past your wrists. Exhale, half push up. Lower your knees, your chest, and your chin. Your butt is still lifted. Inhale, come through cobra pose. Pull the heart through. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back, down dog. All right, second flow. Here we go. Inhale, reach the right leg high. Bend your right knee. Open up through your right hip. Squeeze that glute. Stay here, or you can flip your dog. Plant your foot behind you. Lift through your hips and lift through your heart. Unwind, bring your right arm down. Reach your right leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, pull your right knee towards your right tricep. Plant your foot outside your pinky finger. Lower your back knee, reach your right arm up and around, grab for your foot. So you're in a thigh stretch. No surprise. Pull your bottom shoulder back and your top shoulder back. And really welcome a deeper breath. When our breath is really full and deep, we're able to access more of an open mind, an open way of thinking, but also an open way of just existing. Release your foot, straighten out through your front leg, cat lunge. Bend into your front knee. Check to see that the feet are about hip distance apart. Press down into the earth, rise up, crescent lunge. Spread through your right toes, because you're going to be balancing. Pull your left knee in towards your chest, one-legged Tadasana. You can always bend your right knee a little. Inhale, pull your left heel towards your sit bone, cactus your arms. Feel that hamstring engage. The leg can also be straight. And then inhale, pull your knee in towards your chest, reach your arms up. And exhale, left heel towards sit bone, cactus. Inhale, reach the knee up. Straighten out through your leg, your arms, breath in. Exhale, airplane, swing your leg back and your arms back. Option for warrior 3, interlacing your hands above head. From the pelvis, stretch out long through the legs and your spine. Bend into your front knee, ground your back toes, reach your arms up. Crescent lunge, interlace your hands. Notice which thumb is on the bottom. Keep squeezing your legs towards each other. Inhale, face your palms high, lean it back. Exhale, come forward, press your palms forward. Inhale, lean back, spinal extension. Exhale, round flexion. Last time, inhale, lean it back, spinal extension. And exhale, round, find the flexion, pause here. Bring your arms back. Lift your shoulders up and away from the earth. Bring your chest a little bit closer over the thigh. Ground your back knee. Rise up, Anjaneyasana. Reach your arms high. Breath in. Exhale, grab your left wrist, little side bend up and over towards the right. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, bring your arms back. Again, pinkies are pointing towards each other. Palms face down, straighten out through your front leg. Half split with a little float. Find a strong core and keep hinging your hip points back, leading your breastbone forward. Inhale, bend into your front knee, bring your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands down, lift off your back knee, twist, reach the right arm high, breath in. Exhale, ground your right hand, step back, plank pose. Here is the vinyasa option. Shift your shoulders past your wrists, half push up. Lower your knees, your chest, and your chin. Inhale, come up through cobra pose. Exhale, take it back, child's pose. And breathe. So before we go to the other side, we'll do a heart opening. Take a few breaths here. Slow down the ripples of your breath. Now come forward to like you're setting up for tabletop. Walk your fingertips forward. This is like a recipe, so listen carefully. As your fingertips come forward, lift the shoulders up by your ears and wrap your triceps down, creating external rotation of the upper arm bone. Give your core a really nice strong hug. Now from the back of the heart, stretch out long through the arms into the earth. Melt your heart towards the earth. Don't collapse your shoulders though. Keep the shoulders lifted. Maybe eventually your head touches the ground or your nose. And maybe the heart eventually touches the ground, but not letting the shoulders collapse and not losing the integrity in your core. To be open, to be truly open from a place of integrity is challenging. It's not easy, but it's worth it. Take one more breath here. And all the way back, child's pose. If you have a block, you're welcome to grab that block, place it in between your hands, and bend your elbows, bring the prayer behind the skull. Otherwise, just bring your hands to a prayer and bring the prayer behind the skull. Balasana is a Sanskrit word for child. And take a moment to, if you spend time around children or if you remember your youth, think about how open they feel. Children feel open to express not just the good emotions, but they also express the bad emotions. They learn that, over time, some of that isn't okay, but that's because we tell them that, simply because we don't want to deal with that sometimes. But in reality, all of it, The good and the bad, even the angry meltdowns, are just part of being open and allowing yourself to express yourself. May we continue to adopt that childlike openness. Stretch your block forward. Come up through a tabletop. Move your block out of the way. Plant your hands. And we've got one final flow to go. Down dog. Inhale, reach your left leg high. Exhale, bend your left knee, open up through your left hip. Now keep going here. Plant your left foot behind you, lift through your hips, lift through your heart, wild thing. Unwind, ground your left hand, reach your left leg high. Exhale, pull your left knee towards your left tricep, plant your foot outside your pinky finger, lower the back knee. Reach your left arm up and around and grab for your foot, thigh stretch. Pull both of your shoulders back. And breathe. Actively kick your foot into your hands. Release your foot, bring your hand forward, pivot your toes in slightly, straighten out through your front leg and fold, modified pyramid pose. Now bend into your front knee, really spread through those left toes. Squeeze your legs towards each other, rise up, crescent lunge. Find your balance. We're only here for a moment. Now kick off your back foot, stand into your left foot, pull the right knee in. One-legged Tadasana. Now option to bend your left knee, it helps with balance. Inhale, cactus your arms, pull your right heel towards your bum. Inhale, pull the knee in towards the chest, reach your arms up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, reach it high, straighten out through the leg. Like a pendulum, swing your leg back, arms back for warrior. For airplane, warrior 3, arms are forward or palms at heart center. Wrap your right hip down. Bend into your left knee, step back, inhale, reach your arms up, crescent lunge. Now as you interlace your hands, notice what thumb you put on the bottom, but make it different than what you did last time. Inhale, face your interlaced hands high, lean back, extend. Exhale, round, flex your spine. Inhale, come up, extend. And exhale, round, flex. One more, inhale, rise up, extend. And exhale, round, flex. Pause. Bring your arms back, roll your shoulders onto the back plane of the body. Bring your chest slightly more over your thigh. Carefully, with grace, ground your back knee. Rise up, Anjaneyasana. Grab your right wrist, side bend up and over towards the left. Press down and out through your legs. Inhale, come back through center. One more like that, floating. Split, bring your arms back, point your left toes straight up towards the sky. Really work your hinge here. Send the thigh bones back, the groins back, the sit bones back to bring your chest forward without rounding. Notice how this feels really open. And it's a little bit more challenging when our hands are down in standing splits. Because the truth is, it's more challenging to walk through life with an open heart than it is to be closed. And there's nothing necessarily or inherently wrong with being closed. But if you are in that state, may you remember to pulse back and open up. Inhale, come forward, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands down. And let's do an easy transition. Bring your left arm to the inside edge of your left foot. Whip your left leg around, tabletop. So, grab a block. If you have it, you don't need it. Bring your block in between your hands. This is keeping your arms shoulder distance. Your forearms are now on the mat, so you're setting yourself up for tabletop. Okay, on your forearms. Melt your heart, press your shoulder blades onto the back of the ribs. So now you have like a cow spine in tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up, dolphin, walk your feet in. Now you can walk in as much as you want, but don't let your shoulders pass your elbows. In fact, press your forearms into the mat so much strong, so that you really can feel your shoulder blades pressing against the back of the body. And then maybe you walk your feet in a little more from that place. Hold the strong container. You can bend your knees a little if it helps you get your hips higher. The most open parts of us are balanced with strength, true strength. Because to be open is to be courageous. When we're open to possibilities, keep breathing, keep holding it. It doesn't mean that the possibility is always going to be good. That's the risk of being open. Child's pose. Send your hips all the way back onto your heels. Option to bend your elbows, bring the block behind your skull. So it's either to be open to the possibilities, to the opportunities that life has to offer us, or to be closed and miss out simply because we weren't even able to see the opportunity, even if it was right in front of our face. Maybe we just can't see it quite clearly. Extend your block forward. Come up to a seat. Whip your legs around or shift your legs around. Ground your feet. We're going to go slightly over today because I was late, but it's that time. So if you have to go, feel free to go. Give yourself like a few breaths, but we're going to go for a few more minutes if you have the availability. Okay? Ground your feet and come to lie down on your back. And as you arrive on your back, bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. And just feel your breath. Reach your right leg high to the sky. Interlace your hands around your right thigh. Stretch your left leg way out long on your mat. Supta Padangustasana. You can create circles with your right toes in one or both directions. I think that with this theme, this idea of being open, I don't want it to be like miscommunicated that being closed is wrong or bad. I think that the practice of yoga is about a balance between the lightness and the dark. And you can kind of look at that as openness and darkness as closed. Open is light, darkness is closed, right? We need both. Walk your hands up the back of the calf. Maybe you lift your shoulder blades and bow your head and your knee towards each other. Slowly release. Take a twist, cross your right leg over your left, gaze towards the right or towards the ceiling. Take a breath in. Exhale, melt your right shoulder blade down. So to look inward and to notice that if you are in a closed state of being, if you can feel like this shell, this like outer shell, energetic shell around your heart, I invite you to look inward and see why. Cross your right ankle over your left knee, pull the left knee in, interlace your hands around your left thigh, figure 4 on your back. Why? What made you closed? Was it something, is it a state that you've been at for a while? Or is it a comment that a friend made or a stranger made or something your partner did to you? Which is all valid reasons to close. It's a way of like healing, creating safety. So I really don't want to negate the benefit of closing off to the world. but we don't want to stay there. Unwind, come back through center. Reach your left leg up. Interlace your hands around the left thigh. Stretch your right leg out long. The invitation is to really pulse back the other direction, to see why you're closed and maybe release whatever resentment you may be holding on to. Not for them, because it's not about them, but really, or it's about you. And the opportunity, like the juice, if you will, that life has to offer you when your heart and your mind is open. Walk your hands up the back of the calf, lift your shoulder blades off the mat, soft little bow, forehead towards shin. Release the shoulder blades down, release your left arm to a T, breath in. Exhale, twist, roll to the outside edge of the right hip, bending or straightening the knee, your choice. Breath in. Exhale, melt that left shoulder blade down. Like how I always like to say, you can cheat yourself in this practice, like in a physical way, whether it's in a heart-melting pose or just not activating enough. It's kind of a way of cheating yourself because it's not a competition. This practice is really only about the relationship between you and your higher self. But the same thing can happen if we don't release a level of resentment over time. If we don't work to try to open up. Cross your left ankle over your right knee, pull the right knee in, interlace your hands around your right thigh. Now find your breath. Tap into that deep, full rhythm of breath. Slowly unwind, pull your knees in, give yourself a little squeeze, lift your shoulder blades off the mat, breath in. Exhale, shut your arms and legs out for your Shavasana shape. Pull your shoulders back. Inhale. Exhale, melt your trunk into the earth. Shavasana. Take as much time as you have available to you to rest. If you feel ready to get up and return to the day, go ahead. The light in me bows to the light in each and every one of you. Namaste.